Hello, my name is Jason J. Rock Houston, and I am the voice of Guitarist magazine and Guitarist TV now. I hope you've all been enjoying our interviews since we launched Guitarist TV in January of 2023. And one of the first people that I got to interview, when we started doing these interviews this year was Desi Rexx, who many people know as the guitar player and the front man for the band DMOLLS. Well, Desi's back, and he's not actually able to use it name DMOLLS, but the name of the new band is DMOLLS 777. And so initially, I did an interview with Desi Rexx talking about kind of his his new band and what he's working on now. And for anybody who doesn't know, Desi Rexx in the early 90s, around 1991, I believe it was, when David Lee Roth had released his third solo album, A Little Ain't Enough. That was the album that featured guitarist Jason Becker, who was at the time, I think, 19 or 20 years old. And along with Jason Becker on that David Lee Roth album was legendary Alice Cooper guitarist Steve Hunter. Interestingly enough, this is around the time when Jason Becker was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, and so he was unable to tour with David Lee Roth, and so David Lee Roth had different players on the album than were in his actual touring band. The only ones that remained who played on the album in the touring band were the Bissonette brothers, Greg Bissonette, the drummer, and his younger brother Matt. They remained with David Lee Roth, but Desi Rexx also he replaced Steve Hunter in David Lee Roth's touring band. And so in doing the initial interview with Desi Rexx, I just so loved the guy's energy. I'd heard of Desi Rexx before. I didn't know a lot about him, but I tell you, in interviewing Desi Rexx, I just so loved the guy's energy. And I could tell right away he was such a great storyteller. And so after doing the initial interview and posting it, I reached out to Desi's publicist, Jody, and I told her, the interview with Desi came out really great. And I said, I'd like to invite him to come back once a month and do a segment with us. And during the initial interview with Desi, he had mentioned to me, because I'm such a huge Kiss fan, he happened to mention to me that he had, in the early 1980s, got an opportunity to audition for Kiss, replacing Ace Frehley, of course, at that time. Now, it appears, of course, Desi auditioned, and he never, unfortunately, he didn't get the gig. The gig went to Vinnie Vincent. But again, talking to Desi, I thought, what a great story to tell. Could you imagine being a guitar player and maybe you audition for a band like Kiss, but you don't get the gig? What a great story to have. And so I thought, I got to have this guy back once a month. And so today we recorded episode 1 of Desi Rexx's Rock Tales. This is where we're going to invite Desi once a month to come back. And we're just going to pick his brain, talk about his history as a musician and things that he's experienced in his life. And doing episode 1, I saw that my instincts were right, because once again, Desi was full of energy. He looks like a rock star. He sounds like a rock star. He's got the image of a rock star. He's a very interesting guy to talk to, and he's always on. And I just had so much fun doing it. But of course, in doing these interviews that we do on Zoom now, you got about 35 minutes to do each episode. And Desi told pretty much the whole story of his Kiss audition and how he got the opportunity to audition. Unfortunately, we got cut off right at the very end as Desi was getting ready to wrap it up. But that's all right, because like I said, we're going to have him back once a month. And then when we have him back next month, we're going to pick up the story of the Kiss audition, and we're going to talk to him about a lot more. So tune in once a month now for Desi Rexx's Rock Tales, and I think you are going to be as entertained as I was in today's episode. So just be aware that today's episode ended with Desi not being able to tell the whole story, but he's going to be back next month, the month after that. So tune in to Desi Rexx's Rock Tales once a month, and I'm sure you'll be as entertained as I am. And I hope you've all been enjoying all the Guitarist TV interviews. It's been a lot of fun, and what I've enjoyed about it myself is you watch every interview, and they each have like a personality of their own, and it's really been a lot of fun. And some of the interviews I've enjoyed the most are band interviews where talking to more than just one member of a band, which is very different for our site. And that's been a lot of fun because you get to have a perspective of each guy in the band who takes part in the interview. It's just been a ton of fun. I hope you've been enjoying it as much as we've been doing these new interviews for Guitarist TV. So we will see you down the line. Thank you for tuning into our site. We appreciate you guys always checking out what we do. Thanks so much and take care.